Right, that's my music that I've adopted as my theme tune, so going with that. I can go with that on my title, so you might as well have a little burst of that before I do a live stream. So hello and welcome everybody. This is my irregular timed live stream. I'm here, by the way. I'm not gone elsewhere. I'm here, but you can't really see me. Different camera angle again. I'm trying to find one that I'm happy with. So this evening, I shall be building or starting to build one of my Metal Earth kits, which I've got a few of to go through. Joining me this evening, we've already got Speedy Q8's joining me. He's got a Millennium Falcon to build, although he's not doing that at the moment. He's doing something else with sanding and polishing and gloves and medical stuff. So
I'm doing a bit of wet sanding on my Suzuki Cappuccino.
Yeah, right. So I've got one of these I'm going to start off with, and at some point, I say Speed's going to stop doing that and get back to his Millennium Falcon that he's got. But any building's fine. If any of the Gross gang want to join in and come on, I've sent the link out to everybody. And yeah, come and build what you like, or just sit there and chat, or anything you like, really. But this is, say, my time for Metal Earth. Making Guru Fox was in really early, saying ping, and then disappeared. He hasn't said anything else since. So I think he's fallen asleep or gone to make his food after his Warhammer afternoon. Mickle Pickle's in, and I'm in chatting to Mickle Pickle, and then Jamie Bone came in saying hi everybody, Red Len 08, evening all, and Raging Basis is in. Hello to a fantabulous host, Chris. I don't know who's the I think it must be talking to you, Speed.
Hello to everyone in the chat. I can't actually see the chat at the moment, but I will take a look at it as soon as I get a chance.
Well, no, you'll be getting water all over your iPad and stuff, wouldn't you? So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go as far as iPad. It's a cheap tablet. You know.
iPad type.
I pretend it's an iPad.
Yeah, screen. So, yes, I've got a collection of these, which I did only have the Bumblebee to do, but it was my birthday earlier in the month, and I got a few more from some friends. So I've got the Millennium Falcon that I've already done, but this is the Premium series, which I think is just a little bit larger. I've got this one. The dish section itself is about 38 centimeters across. So when Speed digs it out eventually, then we might see if there's a size. I was going to bring mine up, but I didn't. I've also got no planning. K2SO and Freeflow to do.
Just have a quick measure of mine. Mine's definitely not that big across. I know that much. The disc on mine is. Where are we at? It's about 5.5 centimeters, thereabouts. Maybe with the side pods, it might be about 6 centimeters.
That's quite a lot smaller then, isn't it? I didn't think it was that much bigger, but it obviously is. But I'll be doing that another time.
What, 38? Wow.
Yeah, well, no, not 38. Sorry, what am I talking about? 18. I started at 30.
I mean, that's
confused, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean this goes up to 15, so you know it's
bigger, but yeah.
That's still pretty big.
Tonight I shall be at least starting on Bumblebee. We'll see how it goes. You never know. I might finish it. It's not transform. It doesn't transform. It's just as a robot rather than as a thing. That's probably what scared Fox off thinking about it. He saw the Transformers thing and he's run away. So let's get the packet open and we'll see what we've got in the box. That's all that's in the box. So let's have a look. I did notice. Oh yeah, Shane Young's is in saying good evening, Chris. Evening, Shane. Thank you. Look, sneak peek. There's R2, all built and painted, and it's lovely. Shane sent me.
Is that where you got the R2s from?
This is what, yeah. Shane sent me 3 of these wooden kit things of R2D2. So I've done an R2. I've done the Imperial one, which I can never remember the name for. And he suggested doing a Dagobah R2.
Ah, so yes, I saw that one earlier. That's really nice, muddied up one.
So, yeah, they're not highly detailed kits. There's quite a lot of engraving and panels and things on it. But other than that, it's very basic. Obviously, it's got 8 sides rather than being round. But as a quick sort of weekend sort of build and paint, they're really good fun. I really enjoyed doing them. So
the dirtied up one looks really good, though.
Sorry?
The dirtied up one looks really good.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's just the MIG mud and heavy mud, moist ground, and the AK splatter effects wet mud.
Right,
just sort of built up mainly at the bottom and then sort of spreading it up and putting splots on. But yeah, it suggested a little book that it comes with us to do different variations. So I did. So yeah, I've got a video of the builds, which is finished but hasn't been uploaded yet. I've got to upload that later on. It's got to render and upload. So that might be around tonight. It might be tomorrow night that actually makes its way onto the YouTubes. But yeah, Frankie Goes to Hogwarts here saying good evening as well. Raging Bases just says Bumblebee. And Shane says they look great, Chris. Good fun. Yeah, thank you. Right, so we've got a couple of pages of layout instructions. I think this is obviously on 2 pages of instructions, so it's a fairly involved build. It's not going to be like the last edition of Build Metal Earth with gross models, where I was able to do 2 complete kits. The TARDIS police box and Little Spider were much simpler builds. Although the TARDIS had lots of metal, it was all big panels. Obviously got the 4 sides that are just huge. This one is much smaller pieces on 2 sheets and yeah, 2 sheets of instructions. So that's not going to be a quick build. So I doubt that I'm going to do all of this tonight. It's probably going to be a couple of hours stream, that sort of thing. It normally works out. Because after then, my voice starts going.
Sort of similar to the Iron Man that you did, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I don't know that it's quite as involved as the Iron Man. That was almost twice as many sheets, but it's definitely more involved than some.
Yeah.
So
a lot of instructions, definitely.
Just trying to figure out the best way of doing this. I think the best way is going to be to cut this in half, because you need the sprue sort of instruction page with all the numbers on it for every single step, which is where it gets fun because there's instructions on the back of it. So yeah, that's going to be fun. But at the moment we're starting off with piece number 1. So I'm going to move that out of the way over there. You can just about see it, but you don't need to see that bit anyway. It's the middle bit you're here to see, and probably just to chat to each other in chat. The chat is unfortunately right over behind me, so I can't actually see it all the time, but I will glance around occasionally and see if anything important happens. As ever, there is the option for super chat that I'm sure nobody will ever use, but it's there. That will make little beepy noises, I'm told. So if you have something really important and you want to pay me some money, then click that button. But other than that, I say I'll look occasionally and we'll see what's going on. I'm going to turn these round so I get them the right way round, because that makes it much easier to find bits when you're not looking for part number 1 that's actually upside down and over that side. So funnily enough, we did start with part number 1, which I can see. There's that blue one. Now, as ever with these, if you've not done one yourself, the way the instructions work out, it shows you that that's part number 1. Now, because it's coloured in, it tells me that there's more than one of them. And that the other one will be the same shape and blue. So I can see another one down there which doesn't have a number attached to it. So my way of thinking is, if I need another number 1, I'm only going to see that one. So I'm going to grab that one off of the sprue. I call it a sprue, but it's sort of thick photo etch basically. So if I can figure out which one it is, it's that one there. And it's only attached with one little bit. Now with these, you can apparently use little nippers or cutters to cut it off. But I find just bending it backwards and forwards a couple of times, and then it snaps off. Works fine for me. Some of the bigger ones obviously are trickier if they're held in place with more than two. But you can sort of bend the frame and snap it out that way. I just find it a lot easier than trying to get cutters in to cut little bits off. So I'm going to start grabbing piece number 1 and piece number 2 according to that. So now I get to spend a lot of time looking at numbers to try and read a number. And I just realised that I'm going to keep hitting the camera with my head where it is. There's a 2, so that's down the bottom there.
All right. While you're getting into that, I'm just going to give this a little rinse, and then I will be ready to join in with the Millennium Falcon.
Not a problem. I don't remember how far you got through it, but I'm sure we'll find out in a minute.
I've got the top section done with the radar dish and the cockpit.
Right. Did anyone see where part number 1 went? I had it here a minute ago. There it is. It's under there. All right. That's the trouble with small parts. I will almost certainly end up using my visor for getting into it as well. I also have a selection of tools, which I'm trying to figure out where the camera is and what you can actually see. Basically, small tweezers and some sort of flat-bladed tweezers, which are very good for grabbing bits and bending. So I think the focus is right, the lighting's all right, people can hear me all right. So that's all I need to worry about, really. Right, number 1 goes on there, and number 2 bends up like that. So let's try and see which way up it goes. That's the important thing. There we go. Oh, right, okay, that folds down there and there, and then these side bits fold in as well. Now, being that Bumblebee is humanoid, a lot of this is going to be duplicated, sort of left side, right side, which might be why there's multiples of parts number 1 and that. But we'll figure that out as we go. Obviously, I've done a few of these kits before, but not this particular one, so I don't know exactly what to expect. So we'll start with that bit. And that one needs to be folded in half, which is where it gets very tiny. Folded around in half and get it the right way round. So you've got the flat side on the short side. These 2 little tabs just go into those 2 little holes. I'm fairly sure you're not going to be able to see, because I can't see them myself, and I'm sitting in the same room. There we go, that's them through there. And then when you get them coming through the other side, you can just fold them, hopefully fold them flush against the edge, and that holds that part in place. Except these aren't wanting to play, they're not wanting to fold. That one did. There you go. So we've started. There's a part. I've got no idea what part it is. I'm going to look ahead and see if I can figure out what bit that is, because it's all just could be anything. Oh, it's a head. It's his head. So that's an ear that I've just done. There we go. All right, that's a Bumblebee ear. Then I need part number 3, which I did see the number on, but I can't remember where I saw it. 1, 2. Keep saying 2. There's 3. Right in the middle there.
Alrighty then.
So that's that bit there, which is also coloured. Although that bit looks the same. No, it's not that bit that's 3, it's that bit that's 3. There we go. I nearly pulled off piece 21 by mistake. So, piece number 3. The trick with this is getting it the right way round. Also, on these, you've got some engraving. Some of it's got like a pattern to it, but only on one side. So often, if it can be reversed, it will show you to have this side out or this side in. So we'll get that one attached onto there. That one goes there, and that one goes over there. These are the massive bits. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to the small bits. I'm also trying not to stab myself with the tweezers or the sharp little metal bits, because although it'll make good viewing, I don't like bleeding all over things. So that's the side of a head. That's that. Yeah, then we put that to one side, and then we get another part number 1. So that was the first one that I wanted. Basically, I think we're doing his other ear.
I've gotten to the part which says, do not mess up the front and back side.
You don't want to mess up your backside, no.
Oh, no, definitely not. And I remember this was the bit where the stream ended when I was with you last time, and I stopped at this point because these are ridiculously tiny little fiddly things that go on the back just above the engine. Like that size.
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah, that looks like great fun. Chris Campling's in, saying hello everyone. Chris, if you want to jump on camera and come and join us, feel free. If not, feel free. However, let's find part number 4. There it is. There it is. It's not bending quite as well. There you go. That's that bit, and I'm going to need part number 5 as well. So let's find that while I'm here. There it is. There it is. I think. Yeah, it definitely looks like that. Oh yeah, it's got his face on it as well. That's why it's different to the other side. So we have a bumblebee face as well. So let's see. I'm going to build this one slightly differently, so it's not quite so tricky as getting that other bit in.
Is this a multicolour one, Chris? I was completely
this one, no.
Absorbed in my sand and I totally forgot to look.
No, the instructions have got colours on them just for where it's got more than one part of the same number. But the
right, but it's not a colour one like the Iron Man.
This one here.
Hello.
Hello. I didn't catch who that is. Aha! We have a Mr. Fox Guru person, I think.
Yeah, I've got a coffee. I've got a thing to paint. I thought I'd pop in and say hello.
Hello.
What are you building, dude?
Hello.
I'm building.
What thing are you painting?
I'm doing my Torox. I decided to just brush paint it and not fart about with an airbrush. So I'm just going to base coat it. What are you guys
building? A metal Gundam.
Is it really a Gundam?
Yeah, it's called Bumblebee.
Oh, shut up, you big pup. It's not Bumblebee. I mean, it's not a Gundam. Oh. Middle-class suburban nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, there's a new film coming out, isn't there? The Bumblebee film.
I have no interest in such nonsense.
It's like
Are you ignoring your chat, Chris? Do you want me to chat mod for you?
Oh, you can, by all means, as well. Yes, I haven't been ignoring
Isn't there a Gundam live action thing coming out as well?
Yeah, eventually. Good points to split though. There is a Gundam live action movie being filmed.
Chris is still too busy trying to sort his 3D printer out to come and join us. Yeah, I noticed you were having some trouble with that.
Yeah. Well, have you actually spoken to the chat yet? I know you're a terrible host normally, so.
I am, I know. Of course I've spoken to the chat. We're getting on great.
Been ignoring everybody.
Me in the chat?
People in chat, has he been ignoring you or has he been looking after you?
I didn't offer snacks because I don't do that.
Didn't look at what?
I didn't offer any snacks to everybody. You have to bring your own snacks to my chat.
Yeah. Paul at Team Inept says he bloody hates Ftep. Then he says photo etch, and then he says whatever.
Okay.
Paul at Team Inept, why don't you come and join in?
Because that would mean him working and actually, you know.
Yeah, there is that. Look at that. I left paint on that brush earlier on, and now it's just clammed up. It's just, oh.
Well, why did you leave paint on it? I think you're pretty sure you know.
I was busy doing streams and stuff and chisel and forgot, and now I've got to get the proper hardcore alcohol out to ungunk it. Gosh darn it.
Jamie Bone seems to be slightly confused. He's saying, how do I get a gross model sticker, Ted?
How do I do what? How do I get a gross model sticker, Ted?
Yeah, I'm not sure. To get a gross model sticker is fairly easy.
Yeah.
Basically, you ask me for one, and I'll see what I can do about it.
Chris is easy. You ask him for one, he'll send it.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm not that famous that I have to run competitions and stuff.
Does he want a gross Ted sticker, maybe?
Where does Ted come into it?
I'm not sure.
You'd
have to ask Ted for getting a Ted sticker, but you know.
He says he meant to say Chris.
He just called me Ted by mistake.
Yeah, well, it's force of habit, because don't forget, Jamie's a regular on the e-model stream, but he's only just started coming to ours. So
yeah, but that's on my channel, and he's getting my name wrong. That's not the way to go about getting a sticker. You know?
He's coming to my house, and it's not causing problems. Bless him. He's only joking, Jamie. He's not really that. He's really that grumpy. I'll just shut up.
I'm moderately grumpy.
Moderately.
I've got to go to work tomorrow. I'll get a little bit grumpy.
When you send it out, be sure to put on, with kind regards, Ted.
I'll have to see if I've got a Ted sticker I can send him instead to that and annoy him.
However, what Jamie might need for him to do that is your email address, Chris.
He might, and he better behave himself, and I'll tell him. Yeah, my email address is pretty easy to find on this. If you can email me at grossmodels@gmail.com.
I shall type it in the chat for you.
Oh, that would be lovely. That's safe.
Because am I a mod, by the way? Because can I type things in chat?
I'm pretty sure you are. Yeah. You I will try. We'll find out.
You'd have no idea, have you?
I'm pretty sure I made you a mod ages ago, but you're hardly.
Yes, I am actually. Gross.
Have you got a spanner? Are you a spanner?
I'm a spanner. What is it? Gross models or what? I've already forgotten. I wasn't listening.
Gmail.com.
Gmail.com. There you go.
Because it's Gmail. It's all Google. Google rule everything.
If everybody mails Chris now at that email address.
Everybody can mail me.
Everybody. Then he'll have to send hundreds of stickers out. Oh, Dad's in. Hey, Dad. Dad says Torox. Dad, you need one of these. You need one of these.
Oh, it beeps up my name when you put it in at the my email address. Highlight it for me. Yeah, he says Torox.
Get me stand from my tablet so I can see what's going on in the chat.
Right, so you're making some nonsense transformer crap. What are you? Well, what are you making, Spid?
He's doing the aluminum falcon.
Ooh,
that he started last time and didn't finish.
Aluminum falcon. Cool.
I can't find bit number 6. Oh, there he is.
Oh, Mike Mountain says he's getting a Torox. They are mint. You're getting the third-party wheels. You need me
to like tracks. I know he likes wheels.
Yeah, Dad, if you need me to tell you where I got this, wheels, I'll tell you because I can't remember. I can look it up. Oh, with wheels, he says. Yes.
Really? You can't remember? Who'd have thought?
Well, it's some third-party place. Only 2 of them, but I forgot.
It's not like you have trouble remembering stuff.
Shut up, Dave. Wait, did I get that wrong? Might be big wheels, yeah. Hey, don't forget, Dad, if you don't get them lined up very well, you can just heat up the axle and bend it because that's resin as well. And it looks a bit weird there, but nobody will know. I might do some work, haven't
I? Right, I've got to put that on there.
Shall we see who we've got in?
You can. I've already done the first lot.
Have you? Oh, when did you last check out the chat?
I did.
What was the last thing that somebody said that you remember?
Who was the last person that I said hello to? I can't scroll up. My mouse isn't working. Right. I've said hello to everybody up till well, when Chris came in and said that. So Ickle Pete's in new and Rob Barlow, evening guys. That's I think it. Everybody else I've said hello to now. So yeah. Raging Smooth's just come in, but
yeah, Smooth's just come in. So Raging Basis says he's been looling after us. Actually, that's looking. I will. Okay, I'm going to read this literally because I like it when people's autocorrect goes a bit wonky. Raging Basis says, Mahi's been looling after us. I will make our moo English shortbread if you gov wumi about 45 minutes.
Okay, can we have a translation of that then? What do we think?
Somebody's been looking after somebody, but he's going to make
that
shortbread.
Like? That sounded like the French policeman in LMNO.
Yeah, I know. If people do have funky autocorrect, I will feel compelled to read it out however it's written. Shane Youngs is in. He's got a cup of tea and some Garibaldi, so I'm getting a Tank Girl flashback there.
I don't know what bit I'm building now.
And Raging Basis now says, God fracking damn it.
Must be the top of his head, I think.
Kenneth says, no one cares about the damn wheels. Tracks rule. I love Kenneth. Yeah, you could do a half track, Dad. You could go for it. Hey, Kenneth, we should try a half track.
Yeah, but which half? Left or right?
Yes.
I should do a reverse half track. You should have tracks on the front, wheels on the back.
No, just have tracks on the left.
Actually, that could be kind of useful. You know, like those, when you see those monologue things where you get a guy with like half a beard and they just swap sides of the camera. So they're like talking to each other.
Oh.
That could be the same sort of thing with tracks on one side and wheels on the other.
I just very carefully put this bit on the wrong way around.
Spoon. This is why you need someone to look after the chat while you're doing complicated stuff. Because I know you're not good at thinking and doing at the same time.
I'm concentrating.
He says, dropping brushes everywhere. I just put like 1,000 brushes out of my brush cup and none of them was the brush I wanted. Damn it.
Got too many brushes in.
Yeah, this is a small section of brushes.
Right, so that bit goes towards that bit, not the other bit.
So how many parts are in this? Not to Gundam, Chris.
Several. There's only two sprues.
Are there? Yeah, but each sprue has 6,000 parts. Woo!
I can see 66 is the highest number that I can. 67. I can see a 67 over there.
That's a goodly number.
There might be 67 bits, but some of them are multiples.
Yeah.
Because there were two number ones.
One is the loneliest number.
But not when there's two of them.
I apologise now for all my brush cleaning clacking going on.
I think that's his metal Mohican that I've just made.
Colin from Festus.
Colin's in. Hi, Colin.
Colin says, hi, Chris. Gross models, model making guru, Speedy Q8. Hi, Chris. Chris? No, hey. It's Colin.
Hello.
Evening, Colin. And everybody.
Ooh, shortbread. That sounds good, says Shane D. Youngs. Paul Di Tommaso is in. Hello, everyone. It's nice. I'm getting flashbacks to like 2 hours ago. It's brilliant.
Well, that's what happens when I'm able to pimp my live stream on yours.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. You were very subtle and tactful. I was like, just tell him when it is, Chris. Stop beating around the bush.
I'd already told him when it was before you said that, though.
Had you? Had I just not seen any of that?
Yeah.
Oh well. I decided what colour to do my Taurox in the end.
Pink.
No, I'm just going to go for a good old-fashioned World War II German style browny grey.
Really? Are they not all have to be blue or something? Or
no? Well, they can be, but I decided that the Militarum Tempestus would be a bit more. They're hardcore elite, so they'd be a bit more proper army military style about it. So I'll do like when I do the normal army stuff, they'll be kind of all bright colours, but these guys will be a grey, a nice German grey.
These guys have got to behave themselves.
No, they're just professional. They're hardcore, so they'll still have gold on here. There'll still be gold. I mean, don't get me wrong, there'll still be bling. I just like
have a bit of bling when you go into battle.
I like that kind of. Say again, Spid.
So you've got to have a bit of bling when you go into battle.
Yeah, got to be some bling on there, just not too much. So I'm using Skaven Blight Dinge. I've not had a chance to use Skaven Blight Dinge, but it's one of the better names for a Games Workshop paint. Skaven Blight Dinge.
I have noticed that you've stopped making up names for them now.
No, it's only because I haven't had to do a video where I've had a colour in it.
Ah.
So I haven't to do any new colours.
Right, what's this bit?
If I was filming this, because I've not done any pre-recorded Warhammer stuff really. So
I thought you were just being nice to the official naming because you're after a job.
Well, I'm after a job, but no, I'll still take the Mickey. I'm kind of hoping that one day, I'm kind of hoping that somewhere in that headquarters in Nottingham, somewhere in the Warhammer building, there is someone who has at some point said out loud with the mouth on their face, "Labia mermaids."
Deliberately or accidentally, or
Deliberately. Somewhere there is in that building someone who is either said or is aware of Labia mermaids or decongester stabity or something like that. And in some little way,
I bet they have a riot of a laugh with all the names. I think they know all the subtle little possibilities.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like all the kids' TV shows when we were kids. You know, all the Magic Roundabout, all the adults that must have been sat there wetting themselves with laughter.
Yeah. All the in-jokes that the grown-ups would get, the kids wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Paul says, I joined, but my epoxy camera isn't working.
Yeah.
Colin Festa just says, just taking a wee time out. Had to say hi to these three nice people. Getting there slowly, smooth. Had a wee setback. Everybody saying hi to Colin. Hope you're okay, Colin. Don't take your time out for too long, because the internet's not the same without a slightly gravelly southerner with a funky hat. It's not quite the same, because I can do the voice just about. I can go all quiet like that, you see. But
That's uncanny. It's almost like he's in the room.
I haven't got the head to do it, you see. I can't quite get the same gravitas. And yes, I do suspect you'd say gravitas.
You grabbing news, what?
It's not my stream, I can swear.
Yeah, I'll bill you for any lost revenue, that's fine.
Oh, why must I work like a dog? So yeah, I'd just like to think somewhere in the Warhammer building there's someone who's seen my stuff at some point. I mean, there's the ex-manager of my local store. He works there now, but
I've done his head, look.
oh yeah, it looks like what is that? That's not a head.
It's a head. It's got eyes and everything, look.
Eyes.
Yeah,
Eyes.
You can't see it, but yeah, it's there, honest. Done it. Finished now.
D says another stream. Awesome.
Another stream.
DB's Model Zone is in. My keyboard pops up.
Snot green.
Yeah, Raging Basis says. Oh, sorry, are you reading that one, Spid? Raging Basis says one of his favourite paints by Citadel was Snot Green.
That's not a boring
it's
name.
Not called that
it's
now,
a cool name, but it's a boring name.
That's one of the older paints, that one.
I've got to put his head on the neck.
For those people who used to like the old Citadel paints, by the way, going back to the old days, when they were made by a company in Manchester, if I remember rightly, the company that made their paints is still going, and they make the Cote d'Armes paint, or as some people call it, Cote d'Armes. Heathens. Cote d'Armes. I think it's them that make the paints.
I've heard of them.
So I think they're still around. Whoever it was that used to make the paints for Warhammer, they still make them basically. Because the reason that all the paint names changed is they went to a different company to get them made. They're made somewhere else now. China or somewhere. But the company that used to make them is in Manchester.
You can still buy the original Citadel paints with the same names, but for a different company.
Yeah, I don't think they got the same names. I think I could be wrong. But I think they're basically, those paints are now basically what would be the original Citadel paints. I could be wrong there. If somebody can correct me. Oh, Ted's in. Ted's in.
Well, Ted appeared.
I like the way Ted doesn't come to my stream.
We're in these pots.
Hey, I don't know what pots they'll be in. I assume they're just still labelled as Cote d'Armes or Cote d'Armes.
No, but the old ones, is it the ones that be in these shaped pots?
I think it's the ones that were before the 2012 change. I like the way Ted comes into your stream but doesn't come into my stream.
No, I noticed that.
I know.
Vincent's here as well. Vincent's actually here in person. I can see a camera appeared.
Mind you, it's probably what? We've got a person who we got.
Am I that old?
We've got a crazy Ant-Man going on. Ant-Man on the bug.
Wow. Wouldn't call it crazy.
How's it going, dude?
Fine.
How are your ants? You need to tell everybody who's watching about your ants, because people won't know about your ants.
Oh yeah, I've got a little ant farm now. So
you what?
Well, I'm telling everyone that I now have a little ant farm.
Yay!
How many?
At the moment, a queen, about 8 workers, and some brood.
I thought you were going to be like 3 million or something.
No.
He's a nutter, but he's not that much of a nutter.
I'm not stupid enough to get some exotic species that has an explosive rate of growth.
And you know what? He's blaming it on me. Everybody blames stuff on me. Everybody starts making Warhammer and they blame it on me.
I blame this on you as well. I mean,
I know. Just because I told you to go and watch the Ants Canada channel and now suddenly you're buying ants. That wasn't my decision.
If you've only got like 10 ants, then is that really a farm?
It's a homestead. It's a concern. It's a growing concern.
If you've got 10 ants, technically you're a landlord.
Oh.
Does this count as subletting then?
Probably. You're probably not allowed to do it. I've actually had to resort to putting my visor on and getting in close to try and get his head connected to his neck.
You're an old man. You're an old man. Just like the rest of us, apart from Vincent, who's young and shut up.
All right. I've just joined, but I'm going to go get a snack. Be right back.
Well timed. Oh, this paint is brilliant. This Skaven Blight Dinge. You thin it down enough and get a big, massive base brush. It goes on really nice. I'm just slapping it on, Ted style. And it's just drying really smooth. I've got to do a second coat because it's a bit thin, but it's just drying super smooth.
And Ted says he always forgets about this, but he obviously forgets about yours more.
I know. Well, hey, as long as he forgets about mine more than he forgets about yours, that's fine. No swearing, please, says Rob Barlow. Think of the children. Oh.
He says he didn't get out today, spent it in hospital. I hope you're okay. Sprue didn't win this afternoon.
No.
Alrighty.
Although you never know, Smoo. I don't know if I've heard from the winner yet, so give it 4 weeks. It might be up for grabs again. So what kind of ants are they, Vincent? Because I've already forgotten.
He's gone to get a drink, isn't he? He's not there anymore.
I'm really not paying attention, am I?
Paid attention to when he said he's going to go, and you said, that's good timing.
I'm too busy watching your chat. I'm too busy being your chat dolly.
Well, what goes around comes around.
You.
I just hope my stream doesn't die like yours did a little while ago.
I know. The thing is, right, when I looked at the stream after it uploaded, it was just one thing. It didn't. I've not actually watched the bit where it fell over.
It's really strange. And it came back, which is more of a shock to me.
But it wasn't like, what did it do? Because I didn't see anything and it didn't tell me. And it doesn't seem to have encoded 2 separate streams. So
it just all went black.
Yeah.
And everybody in chat started saying, where's he gone? Who turned out the lights and everything?
Who turned out the lights?
It's not just me.
Oh, weird.
But by the time I'd sent you the message to say your stream's offline, you were back.
Came back.
Like nothing had happened.
That's very strange. Like I said, I didn't get a notice. Although I did have like I had like a 0.7% drop frames, and then when I looked, it had suddenly gone back down to 0. So something had reset. I could have pressed a button, I suppose. Probably a button pressage could have happened. I don't know.
It's like a sort of stream pause, but without actually even anything saying paused.
Sprue Glue Addicts in.
Evening.
How are we doing today, Ted? I've not really spoken to Ted for a while. How are we doing, Ted? Are you bright and bubbly? Have you fallen asleep again?
How much work have you been doing this week?
Yeah. He only wants to know so he knows how long you last on Monday night.
Yeah. Well, how were you on Tuesday is the real question.
Oh, yeah, that's a point. We never asked, did we? How did you survive on Tuesday, Ted, after an all night?
After an all-nighter with us.
Yeah. After a nighttime session with me and Chris. Let's just move away from this one now, I think.
I can't find part number 10.
Parts number 18 times
No,
2.
number 10. I haven't got to 18 yet. I can see it. There it is.
If anybody out there has the need of brush painting a Warhammer vehicle or any vehicle, and they want to brush paint it and get a nice smooth finish, this is the trick. Get a wet palette, get a big brush. I quite like the Games Workshop base brushes. Big brush, get some moisture in the paint, go thin and build it up. And you'll end up with a brush coated coat that'll be nice and thin and smooth. That's how you get a nice smooth brush finish. Won't be as perfect as an airbrush coat, but it'll still look good.
I keep thinking you're saying smooth then.
Smooth.
Get a smooth finish. I'm not entirely certain that that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing his shoulders now, which would make sense, you know, just on his head.
Paul Di Tomasos asks, Chris, what Metal Earth kit are you building?
Oh, you should have got here at the beginning.
He's just going to, you're not going to answer you now, just out of grumpiness, aren't you?
I'm building Bumblebee. In honour of Fox being here, I thought I'd do a Gundam. So,
stop. Not a Gundam. Whoa. Ted says, Tuesday was good as I could have. Wow. Start that one again.
Was that Ted not typing or are you not reading?
He says he's okay. It's a long way away. It's across the desk. He's okay. He's had his sleep for today. Tuesday was as good as I could have had. Oh, God, I can't read it. Tuesday it was good as I could have a lie-in before work.
Ah, yes. He did mention that.
Yes. What he means is he was at work on Wednesday. When did you lie until? I don't know, Wednesday or something?
Yeah, I got to work really early. I was there an hour early. Why are you 23 hours late?
Yeah, oh, no.
Ping.
I must turn that off, actually. It's annoying when notifications go ping and pong everywhere. Turn that off. Notifications.
Right, that's some shoulders done. Now I've got to put the head on.
When I first bought this kit, I thought to myself, this looks like it'll be a nice, easy, quick build.
Tune in next week when you'll hear Dr. Bob say.
And the fiddly.
Paul Di Tomaso says he's currently at work and he's working on his real grade Sazabi. Oh, sorry, dude, I was talking over you there. Say again.
No, that's all right. I was saying Chris has got an unfair advantage with working with tiny, tiny watch parts.
Because I've got small hands.
Because he's only tiny himself. He's only a wee little fella. It can't be just me that occasionally has been working on a model with really tiny parts and trying to paint them and just sitting there thinking, God, if I could just shrink down so it was full size, or if I could just make it grow it to full size and paint it and then shrink it back down again, that'd be so much easier.
It would. As long as you could grow it to full size and grow the paint pot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it'd get really expensive in paint, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, if I could just shrink down to 1/35th scale or whatever scale I'm working on at the time, this would be a lot easier.
I can get 3 out of the 4 tabs in place, but I can't get that 4th one in at the same time. I can do it if I go that side, but not if I go the other side.
It's middle-class suburban nonsense, that's your problem.
I can't figure out if it's too far apart or not far enough apart. I pushed it in a bit and it seems to be working, so I think it was not far enough apart.
You would go like that once.
I've just got to get the flaps in the right place.
So what you're working on now, the shoulders and the torso?
No, just shoulders. Head onto the shoulders.
Ooh.
So there you go. He's got shouldery things and a head and a face.
You're out of shot, dude.
No, I'm not.
Totally
I wouldn't do that. I keep moving my camera. I'm trying to find a place that my camera works in and everyone can see, and it's not in my way.
You're also focusing focus quite a lot as well. You focused on the cutting mat.
Well, you can't focus on this. It's too shiny and...
What you need is a tiny quadcopter with a high-def camera that tracks your hands.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'd be really cool. Just hover above your desk and follows your hands.
Yeah.
Or one that's linked to my eyeballs, so you can just... whatever you're looking at, it records for you.
I'm sure there are existing cameras that actually that use eye tracking. There probably are. Jamie Brown says, Fox, what scale roughly are Warhammer figures? In terms of tabletop scale, they are heroic scale, but that means nothing in the real world. If anything, they're kind of, sort of, slightly compatible with 1/35th scale. Sort of, a little bit. I've seen people do builds where they've used 1/35th scale Panzer IVs and things as tanks for Deathcore of Krieg. And because there's nothing on the model that suggests an actual scale, it kind of fits. They're kind of 1/35th scale. If you look at a figure, they're sort of like small 1/35th head size, but the bodies are a bit squat and chunky. But they're kind of... And when I did my Imperial Skitter, Terry's now giggling, when I did my Imperial Skitter, it was a 1/35th armoured car, but there was nothing on the model that gave away the size of it or the scale of it. So I could get some Warhammer figures with that. So depending on the model that you're going to link it with, you could use some 1/35th figure models, sort of.
Ted says he's working 2 days this week. He's doing Monday and Tuesday, so that could make Monday night quite fun.
All right, so it might be a short session on Monday night then for Ted.
If he's had a tough day already and he knows he's got another one coming the next day. Yeah, that could be fun. Sort of something else as well. Rob Barlow says, what tools do you need for these metal kits? Very, very little. Pretty much I'm getting away with a pair of tweezers and a pair of flat tweezers that are useful for grabbing and bending. You can use wire cutters or nippers to get the bits off of the sprue, but I find just bending it backwards and forward works fine. Would
you need one of those photo etch bending tools, or is that not really necessary?
I don't think that's really necessary. They tend to be very few bits that are needing to be bent that aren't already sort of
pre-shaped.
Well, not so much pre-shaped, but sort of etched and engraved and things.
I mean, they've got like bend lines and stuff. And
yeah, I mean, this bit that I'm getting off now, I'll be able to show you on that bit actually, if I can get this bit off there.
Chris is getting off now. Let him show you. Wait, no.
This one you probably can't see because of reflections and stuff, but there's actually lots of little holes, like perforations down on the fold lines. So although it's one big bit, it folds really easily on itself in the right place.
Okay, so you don't really need a bending tool.
You don't need a bending tool. There are some bits that you have to do round, which are more of a problem, but you generally find something about the right diameter and bend it around.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, that's where this edge piece has got a little fold on the end bit. That's where the flat side actually works. You can grip the thin bit, and just bend the big bit around, and that gives you that edge that you need.
Fair enough, I've got some of those tweezers and I use them for exactly the same thing.
There we go.
When I was doing photo etch.
I've never actually done any photo etch yet.
Have you not?
No, it's quite
qualified now.
Apparently it's like this but thinner.
Yeah, it's like that but more fiddly and less helpful.
Someone said it was one of the other thinner.
It's ridiculously tiny as well. But the only photo etching kits I've ever done have been ones supplied with kits, and to date I haven't actually had any photo etch that's required bending. It's just been flat bits to add detail.
I've done a little bit of photo etch here and there, but not massive amounts. It's usually been a case of cut this out, stick it on. The fewer I've had to do, when I did the striker, that required a little bit of bendy, and that was a bit nerve-wracking because that was the first time I ever did it. I don't have any problem with photo etch. The only problem I have with photo etch is sticking the damn stuff on without making a mess with the CA glue. But people that like super glue photo etch onto a model after they've done all the painting, I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not going to happen.
It does sound like that's asking for trouble.
Yeah. Skaven Blight Dinge. This is a really nice colour. It's kind of like German grey, but a little bit warmer. I really like this colour. It's fantastic. Skaven Blight Dinge. Let's have a look. Smooth starts singing ant music.
That's the point. We haven't seen Vincent for a while. Maybe his ants have taken over.
I don't know. He's disappeared. Is he gone?
No, he's still there. He's still. His camera's still on, but he hasn't come back.
Oh,
there might have been an ant uprising.
By the ants. Pulpy Tomato says, "Strap a GoPro to your head." Skipper Ted says he may do the live stream from his bed. Ooh, maybe not. Smooth says 28mm desktop gaming scale. Jamie Bear. I don't think they're quite 28mm, but they're sort of 28mm. This is similar, but they're classed as heroic scale because they're not realistic proportions. So they're just about 28mm, I think.
I have one. I have one here. What do you measure from the top of the base?
I don't know,
top of his head.
Because don't forget, Space Marines are 8 foot tall and normal dudes aren't.
So that's just 30mm from the top of his feet to the top of his head.
Measure Space Marines, they are 28mm. But if you measure like an Imperial Guard, they're like not as tall. So don't know how you do it. Weird. Sprooglodic says, please say
would 20mm be the height of an average sort of Space Marine or whatever then?
Yeah, well, at 28mm, when you see a scale for a figure, like a tabletop scale like that, like 28mm or whatever millimeter, it's generally the height of an average figure, an average person dictates the scale. They're typically about, so like the Fallout Wasteland Warfare figures, they're 28mm scale, but they're realistically proportioned, so they look like real humans, and they are about 28mm, whereas a super mutant's much taller. But with Warhammer, it's difficult because Space Marines are about 28mm, but they're like 8 foot tall, and average people aren't. I don't know. I mean, they're closer to 28mm than anything else, but they're technically classed as heroic scale, which is like Games Workshop's own non-realistic human scale. If you actually saw somebody proportioned like a Imperial Guard figure in real life, you'd be like, wow, they've got some vitamin deficiencies. But when you see them on little figures, they kind of work. Little stocky squat things, they kind of work.
Yeah, I know when you look at the figures, they are very obviously
weird,
sort of not well out of scale. They're sort of wide and squat and
yeah.
That's like the Spartans in Halo, isn't it? They're massive.
Yeah.
It's more when you look at the heads, isn't it? When you see them without the helmet.
Yeah, they're always like square jaws.
Sort of thing.
But even the Imperial Guard, the rank and file minion troops of regular humans, are like, they're smaller, but they're still blocky and squat and square jawed. Everybody's manly in the Warhammer universe.
Even
a couple of things. Spriggloo says, please say E-Models pajamas are a real thing. Skipper Ted says we could try for E-Models onesies. Looking at my spare night weapons, I'm thinking artillery gun, says LD. Raging Basis says he played the Fallout Wasteland Warfare game a few weeks ago. Modifius was at my local store, Goblin Gaming, and it's a really, really good, even got a free miniature. Cool. I met somebody from Modifius when I was at my local Warhammer store. He popped in. I was talking about the video I'd just done of the figures, and he went, you get model making gear? I said, yeah, all right, okay. But they said they were going to send me some more in the next release, but they never did. So that's why I've not filmed anymore. Because he said, yeah, we'll keep going. We'll send you the next one when they come out. And I'm thinking, please send me a Corvega. That'd be brilliant. Please send me a Corvega.
I take it they have come out there, have they?
I don't know. I've kind of lost track of it because I didn't keep an eye on it. But they haven't been in touch or sent me anything else. So they obviously don't want the publicity.
Well, there might not have been a second release yet.
Yeah, there might have been. There's plenty more figures. I only did 3. I only did Dogmeat, Super Mutant, and Nora.
No.
So
Yeah.
they are nice though. They're really nice figures. If you're looking at just some nice little 28mm resin figures, because it's like the first generation release, it's the first few releases. They're really, really good quality. Come back in a few years, they'll be a ropey as heck, but because it's the first release, they're very nice. Ooh, locking my camera. Shane Young says, "What are the best photo etch cutters?" Ted might be able to answer that one because he's done a bit more than us.
I use these Hasegawa Tri-Tool PE cutters.
Yep.
But I usually use these just to get, if it's like a big
nub,
I suppose. Yeah.
Because don't you just cut them off the sprue with a modeling knife or a chisel knife?
To be fair, in 99% of the cases, unless you're handling like a big part or one with a lot of connections, a knife will be your best bet. A knife and a hard surface is enough. I use this. The top of this little hard plastic box.
Yeah, a lot of people use like a little piece of glass, don't they, or a ceramic?
Yeah, or a tile. Like if you've tiled your bathroom and you got a couple of spare in the shed in the back, you know, that's gonna be perfect. Because
I found instead of using like my pointy modeling knife, which isn't really for pushing down and cutting, what I found was I've been pushing down and cutting a lot of time. So the chisel one that's got the blade that's square and got the blade at the tip.
Yeah, a lot of the guys I see doing photo etch tend to use something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just pushing down like that, basically.
Yeah, or get the one that has the bellied blade, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the round one.
Yeah.
The sort of curved blade.
Yeah, then you can do like the spaghetti slicer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that rolling chop.
You mean a curved blade like those guards from Markarth?
Yeah,
guards from Markarth. They have curved swords. It's a Skyrim reference and nobody got it. God damn it! You all suck.
I'm trying to picture a spaghetti slicer.
Actually, I will admit so, but there you go.
I said pizza slicer, didn't I?
He said spaghetti slicer.
Spaghetti.
I can guarantee that everybody, including me, was sitting there going, "Yeah, right." How's a spaghetti slicer?
Great part. But
absolutely did say spaghetti slicer. I'm trying to picture spaghetti slicer.
No, but you know what I mean. Get one of those rounded blades and do the kind of chopping motion you do when cutting a pizza with those curved. The cutting.
If you had a spaghetti slicer, would it slice it long ways or across?
To be fair, I've never heard of a spaghetti slicer myself.
Well, neither have we, but you just invented one.
Oh, you have now.
We all kind of nodded our heads and went, "Oh, right, yeah." And then we're like, "What the hell is this spaghetti?" I don't know. I'm not going to ask him. I don't know. I'm not asking him.
Tell you, it'll be on JML next week. Somebody will be watching this and going, "Now then,
JML.
Hey,
JML spaghetti slicer."
You'll love that kit, Shane Young. He's doing the belt kit Samantha.
He's doing what, Samantha?
You know, Opal Manta?
20.
Oh, Manta. I thought you said Samantha.
Cool. He's coming
Who's doing? Yeah, who's doing Samantha, Fox? Do you need to tell us something?
Personal information, that is.
Right, Fox, as a Warhammer man.
Yes.
Help me out here. I've got this front leg to attach.
Buy them all.
But when I attach it, the feathers on it.
Hang on, pull it down a bit because you're at the top of the. There we go. I'll lock it on you so I can see you. Hang on.
Anyway, I'll lock it on Vincent anyway.
Chris is rubbish and never takes
it's locked on, Vincent. That's fine.
hang on. Still not locked it. Right, I've locked it on. I've locked it on for me anyway. What are you making, a Griff Charger?
It's not a Griff Charger. It's one of the hero figurines, Lord Akrolor.
Okay.
But these feathers, right?
Yes.
They cover the boots and part of the pauldron when put on. It's like impossible to get to it with a brush. Would you prime it and paint it? Or would you be like, well, if you can't get to it with the brush, you probably won't see it anyway.
Can you glue it on later on once it's painted, or would it just mess everything up and be a complete clusterflock?
I might be able to mask it off as I'm painting dressed, yeah.
I would personally say the thing I find with Warhammer is it's more fun just to risk it for a biscuit and build it all and see what happens. Because at the end of the day, if you can't get a brush to it, most people probably can't see it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cheers.
Or what you can do is you know, paint all the feathers and stuff, then get a brush jammed in there for the gold arm or whatever, and then go back and touch up the feathers. And if it all goes wrong, then it's totally your own fault, and you just have to buy a new one. It's like me. It's like me when I'm doing dudes. When I did my Tempesta Scions, I was like, I'm gonna have to glue all the arms and weapons on because I can't not do it any other way. And then I did a load of Space Marines like that. And then when I actually tried to paint them all with all the weapons over the chest, I found I could actually get to all the acrylic. It was all right. Right, what's people in chat doing?
Samantha is the name of the spaghetti slicer.
Samantha the spaghetti slicer. Smooth says he uses Tamiya photo etch scissors or a blade. Skipper Ted uses a chisel edge knife to cut PE. Photo etch. Shane Young says, thanks for that, guys. First time using photo etch with the Bell Kits Manta. You can get a small wheel cutter for cutting fabric, says Redlen. Shane Young says, about halfway through and love it, Vince. Everything fits so well. And Paul says, what sort of biscuit? Oh, what biscuit for a biscuit? Just amusing. It's your favorite biscuit. Just assume it's that. So a chocolate hobnob, obviously. There's no other kind of biscuit.
I don't think Paul has a favorite biscuit. He likes all biscuits equally.
I don't know, because digestives are just, they're like peas. They're just bland and pointless.
Oh, no, I like digestives. You can put like cheese on them and stuff. They're really nice.
Digestives aren't biscuits. They're just packing materials. There's nothing to a digestive. Well, actually, no, I'll take it back. There's only one thing worse than a digestive. That's a rich tea biscuit. That's even more bland.
Oh, yeah, rich tea are very bland, but digestives are the base of a cheesecake. How can you hate the base of a cheesecake?
Well, that's because but don't forget, when they're in a cheesecake, they're crushed up into powder and then applied over the bottom of a cheesecake and covered up with cheesecake. So that's why they're good there, because you can't taste them. Digestives are just so bored. They are the peas of the biscuit world, especially compared to your chocolate hobnobs and your Rocky Robins and your.
His head's fallen off.
Oh no!
That's never a good sign.
You know what? If it was a Gundam, it wouldn't do that. But because it's a transformer later, it's your nonsense.
Isn't Rocky Robin a song?
I don't know. It's a kind of biscuit.
Isn't it an ice cream?
No, it's a biscuit. A Rocky Robin. They seem to vary in name by brand, but they're always generally called in some way Rocky or Robin. But the originals were called Rocky Robins.
The base.
I think I might paint the interior of this a facsimile of APC interior green. Seeing as it's technically an APC. I'll give it a proper interior. Zinc chromate green. And by zinc chromate, I mean, of course, Nurgling green. Because that's the nearest facsimile.
2223.
I don't like soggy ones, says Paul. Rob Barlow says that Asda's hobnob ripoffs are very nice.
What do they call them?
Zadsta says, I think Michael Jackson recorded it. What, hobnob? The thing that gets me about this vehicle is it's got this beautiful big grilled air vent right there that's going to be a great fun to weather and paint, and it's completely covered up by the turret. I'm like, oh, fudge.
So, Fox, this is one that you're going to be using in games, yeah?
Hopefully.
So you're not allowed to do any battle damage or anything in it, because then it would get less points in the games or something.
No, you can do. You can paint it however you want, really. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this one, I'll have customized it with wheels and stuff, so technically it won't be canon, but it'll just have the same stats as the base vehicle. I won't have tracks on it. Sorry, Kenneth. I know, my mate. I know. Kenneth does like his tracks. Got to tell you though, Kenneth's
got a single track mind. Haha.
See what you did there. Kenneth's Taurox looks fantastic. Did you see it in the boom when he posted in the boom hut?
I did.
You put object source lighting on and everything. I've never been able to get the hang of object source lighting. They look brilliant. Yeah, the heat staining on there on the turret.
Part number 20.
Oh, I've painted myself into a corner. Oh, fudge.
23.
Put that there for a minute.
Just think how much worse that'd be if you were painting it in the right scale then.
Oh,
If you were
yeah.
shrunk down and paint it and you painted yourself into a corner.
No. I've actually seen someone paint a warehouse floor and suddenly realised they're right in the other corner of the warehouse away from the door and they're in the corner and they're like, oh, flipping heck up. Oh, I've actually seen someone do that.
Cartoons. That's not in real life.
Realised they've just painted themselves into a corner 30 feet away from the door and they're like, oh, flipping heck. So, but you're staying there all night then. Sorry.
I've taken his neck back off so I can put his head back on it. And now I've got to try and get his neck back onto his shoulders.
I'm sure that makes sense eventually.
At some point it does, probably.
Yes. So, Vincent.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your ants. What's the story so far? Tell people what you got and what's happened with them.
They seem
Alive.
They seem alive. Yeah, let me take a picture.
Are they a little bit antsy?
Tell people like what you got. Did you get like a what are they living in and how you transferred them from the plastic bag or whatever you got them in and
do you buy them individually? Do they come individually wrapped?
little card like a Star Wars figure just says Queen Ant and you got in the clamshell.
New hatchet part works.
Maybe they're like sea monkeys. You just add water and they come alive.
Yeah, that'd be the next thing.
Build
your own ant farm.
Sea monkeys.
You know, funny story about those sea monkey things. Apparently, the company called Uncle Milton's in America that first did ant farms are also the guy who guys behind sea monkeys, which are basically brine shrimp, right?
Yeah, they're just brine shrimp. If you watched, where was it on? It might have been on the new series of Cosmos. You know, the one with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm sure there was something on there about the guy that did sea monkeys. Well, it might be. I might have just actually seen it somewhere else completely, and not on there. I might be talking out my backside. I can't remember.
You might have just invented it.
Yeah,
Mind.
I'm sure I saw it somewhere. On a thing with the people and the talking and the running and the things. Moving on.
Smooth says that he talked to them but didn't want to antagonize them. You should have seen the antics of him setting it up.
Yeah. I was gonna. He did it on video. I was gonna watch that, but I couldn't find out where you were streaming it or hanging out.
Well, we weren't live streaming it.
Oh, right.
It out, yeah.
All right. Explains why I couldn't find it then. Hey.
16.
Do the ants have names? Says Rob Barlow.
I suppose I'll name the queen eventually, but
yes, the queen is called Dave. It's Dave, the queen.
Bob, the driver.
Just Fallout thing. You should just call it the Republic of Dave and just call them all Dave.
I'm going to call one of them Hank.
Or call it the Republic of Dave and just call them all Gary, just to mess with people's minds. In fact, yeah, just call them all Gary. Gary.
That's Steve, isn't it? Steve.
There we go. That's their current home.
Ooh, I like the way it says ants on the corner, just in case.
Name of the company that does little enclosure. And in the test tube, you can see the colony, and this is them up close with the massive queen and all the little workers around it.
Oh, wow.
How big is the queen then?
Well, about
big is the queen, then?
about an inch, something like that. Yeah, about an inch.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, look, she's right here, Chris.
Yeah, I know, but I can't. There's nothing in the picture that gives me any scale. I can't tell.
Compared to the size of a test tube.
She's about the length of a number 11 blade.
You're going to say number 11 bus then? I'm like, what? That's the size of a number 11 bus. Holy crap.
Yeah, that film's not going to end well.
You can get.
You can't really tell, but at the bottom you can just about see some of the brood, and these species, their main diet is seeds.
Yeah, the seed. I've never heard of that. Seed-eating ants.
Yeah, that's why they have all these little grass seeds that they, because they actually store them. They're a bit like chipmunks in that sense. That they actually have dedicated rooms when they have a big nest. This is just a temporary, we're getting started nest, right?
Kind of handy they eat seeds then, seeing as they're called seed-eating ants or whatever.
Yeah, that's convenient.
Coincidence.
Well, they get a separate little room in their nests for storing them, which is kind of, you know.
Cool. So that whole ant and the grasshopper thing wouldn't really work with them, would it?
Probably not, no.
Yeah, that was a rubbish joke. I'll take it back. I'll just apologise.
And this is what I was up to today, by the way, for the guys interested. This is what's his first name again?
Captain Jack.
Yeah, Captain Jack from
Darkness.
dressed
Torchwood.
up as
Torchwood.
yeah, dressed up as Wonder Woman in it.
Wait, what's happening with what? Hey,
He's at a convention, and apparently, I think Spiddy pointed it out. This is a thing he does quite often at a convention. He basically when the Q&A is happening, he comes on stage dressed as Wonder Woman.
Okay, because of course he does.
I've definitely seen him dressed as Wonder Woman before.
He is hilarious, though. It's because his Q&A basically sort of evolves into like, you pose a question and I'll see what I can do with it, improv stand-up wise.
Oh, he's a keep knocking the camera. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Is
John Barrowman.
That's it.
John Barrowman.
John Barrowman. That's the one.
And this was the R2 Builders Club.
Ooh. What gives it away? How did you guess?
Well, the t-shirts that say R2 Builders.
No, that's it. Then that must be it.
And probably the 2 dozen R2 units. And
No,
I think I see one R4 with a bad motivator. That's definitely an R4 with a bad motivator in the background.
Mickle Pickle says, are the ants covered in chocolate or caramel?
Neither.
Yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's really cool. These guys were working on one, and what they were using was one of those 3D wheels as the front coaster.
Oh,
yeah. So you don't get any drag when you're turning the R2 unit around, because they're usually fixed coasters on the front wheel, right?
Okay.
And what they used is one of those 3D wheels, which can go forward and backward, but there's like pieces mounted on it that allow it to go sideways as well.
Cool.
So it doesn't drag.
Cool.
And for those interested, this is what I bought today, Fox. You'll like this.
Oh, Strike Gundam. Freedom Gundam. Strike Freedom Gundam even.
Yeah.
Master grade.
Yep.
Yeah, all the gold bling.
Well, yeah, that's all, that's going to be done in Mr. Metal Colored Gold, I think.
Yeah.
That'll look nice.
Yeah, the words kick and ass are definitely relevant to that construction project.
Oh, yeah. I think I might actually just jump into that one and get started as soon as I've got a bit of bench space.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know what the master grade is like, but the perfect grade is notorious for making people suffer from fatigue when building all the Dragoons.
Yeah, and apparently the mounting system for the Dragoons is a bit iffy.
That's on the perfect grade. I don't know about the master grade. On the perfect grade.
From what I've read, the perfect grade, the Dragoons are still a tedious build because there's a number of them.
Yeah, it's the backpack mounting peg on the perfect grade that's apparently terrible, prone to breaking and snapping. On the perfect grade, because it's one of those ribbed pegs.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, they get the ribbed pegs.
Yeah.
And what you do is you get it, you drill out the middle, put a brass rod in it, and cover it in filler, and then on the perfect grade. On that one, the master grade, it probably isn't a problem.
Yeah, luckily that's the advantage of working with a lot of photo etch. You quite often need a bit of brass rod to represent a piece of tube or an axle or something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they haven't got a clue, have they? What are we talking about now? I don't know. No idea.
But yeah, I've even got some nickel silver rod, which is even less bendy than brasses. So
I built a Zaku.
I built a Zaku.
Chris is taking part.
It was green.
It was a grunt.
Good girl. Welcome to the conversation. I'm helping. Bless.
Right. Smoo and Colin are off. See you
Bye,
guys.
guys. Thanks.
See you guys.
In the off air a bit later.
See you later, guys. Colin and Smoo.
Anybody else joining us, do you think, this evening?
I don't know. The offer is
people know they
open,
can
but
join us?
whether or not, well, you know. Reese said he might try and pop in, but he's got stuff going on, stuff to do, so he might not have got the chance.
Paul's just feeble with his rubbish camera, clearly.
Paul apparently can't find the camera that's probably right in front of him yet.
Yeah.
Seems likely. No, I have placed these somewhere. Of course.
What time?
Oh, I keep knocking the damn camera. I'm going to move the camera.
9:15 already, so
Hey?
it's 9:15.
Ooh.
We've already done an hour and a bit.
I thought it was supposed to be quick builds, these Metal Earth things.
No, the last one was quick because I did 2 of them in one night, but the Iron Man one took like 3 or 4 episodes.
Okay.
So I'm not expecting to do all of this tonight.
Okay.
Not that I have a particular time set to finish or anything, but we'll just see how it goes, really.
Anyway.
When everyone starts getting bored and going home. And
Raging Basis says, is anyone going to be knocking around Manchester's Games Workshop on Friday? Which Games Workshop? There's more than one in Manchester, I think. I don't even know where the one in Manchester is. Where is the one in Manchester?
no, I'm not. Is the easy answer to that one. I'm not working Friday, but I'm not driving up to Manchester.
Also, you're nowhere near Manchester.
No.
Yeah, you're a bit of a distance away. Right, I'm going to have to do a quick hair dry a bit, so I'll turn my microphone off for a sec.
Right. Mickle Pickle says Bumblebee's going to take 6 episodes. It might. You never know. It's impossible to do 7 episodes, so as everybody knows. He's not here. We can say what we like. Think you can still hear us? No, he's right. Apparently, it's in the Arndale Centre, in the Games Workshop that he's going to. Whether there are more than one, I don't know. I'm going to find parts 18 and 19 and do. I don't know if I think it's his stomach.
Your stomach.
Yeah,
No, it's his back.
I'd love to hang out at Games Workshop instead of being at work on Friday, but sadly that's not going to happen.
Bumblebee is going to take 6 episodes, says Mickle Pickle. Raging Basis says it's in the Arndale Centre.
We read that while you were gone.
Oh, did you? Oh, I had the thing running away. What's happening in the Games Workshop store in the Arndale Centre?
Someone's going to be there.
Yeah, kick-ass. Raging Bassist.
That was it.
I knew that.
We have a stand. A stand for the aluminum Falcon.
It's localish to me, so I could potentially make it. Well, I don't know what I'm doing on Friday, so. But there would be nothing necessarily stopping me hopping on the tram and tramming it to Manchesterings.
When's your car being dealt with?
MOT. Well, the MOT was last week. It's going in for its operation on Thursday. So hopefully, it all depends on, because I don't know how much it's going to cost to get it fixed.
No, you're saying.
That's the thing. It's like, I know what needs to be done, but they can't quote me on it because they don't know. They know the brakes aren't working on the back. They just don't know why. So they can't quote me because they don't know what needs to be done.
This is probably not something you run into with 40k figurines, but what do I do with the man purse?
With the who?
They actually gave him a codpiece.
Oh, you just painted what the dude? Has he got armor on?
No. I mean, the actual critter has a codpiece.
Yeah.
No, what you mean, like something to cover his bits, or just his bits?
Well, his bits are quite uncovered. Let's leave it at
that. Don't know, just raging pink, I guess. Don't know what's an appropriate color for parts.
I mean,
Wait a minute.
I've never been confronted with this when doing figurines. This is awkward.
What's on the box art? Have a look at. Refer to the pictures.
What's on the box art?
It says refer to the pictures on the packaging.
I would say Google it.
What's on the box?
Well, I suppose it should be the same kind of. So, is it frozen out? It's frozen out, hasn't it? Just a second here.
Part 20. Doesn't say 26 anyway.
That brush is a bit too big. That brush is perfect. Perfect.
There you go. Should be moving again now. There we are. Yeah, it doesn't really show on the box art. And this is, I mean, that's a significant man purse.
I can't. It's kind of a bit out of focus, but I get the hint of shapes.
Yeah, well, it's a big shape.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Good luck with that one. Moving on.
That's definitely closer to the horse side of the creature.
Yeah. Who would have known they started getting realistic? Especially when you see some of the stuff that comes in this Soul Wars thing. It's just got a flat bit with just like a seam line and nothing there at all. They just didn't put any sculpting on that under the Griff Charger whatsoever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
do you have a field with some horses in it? Can you go and take some photographs of horses without getting arrested? Go to a farmer. I need to take some pictures of your horses from certain angles for research purposes. No, really. Seriously, for research. I believe you.
I'm pretty sure there are laws and specialist magazines about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's sites on the website you can go to and look for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather not, thank you.
Can you not like scratch build some leather strapping or something that just tactfully covers it up?
Might be a good idea.
Like a rolled up bedroll or something. Just
build something out of masking tape because it's I don't know, you know.
Yeah, do what armor builders do when they've got a nasty gap on a model. Just put a bedroll over it. Raid your tank spares box and find a bedroll or tarpaulin. Maybe you could just cover it in tarpaulin like he's parked up.
Well, put like a crook lock on him or something.
Yeah. I never would have thought they'd have dangly bits on there. That's quite fascinating, actually, I have to say. But most vastly amusing.
We know what Fox is going to Google later.
Hippogriff dangly bits.
Hippogriff. Hippogriff, you say. How very strange.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that one as well. It's like, huh.
Makes me wonder then what they do with the Death Cora Krieg horses, because they have pretty much horses, so they're not actually horses, but they look just like horses. So I wonder if they have bits.
Well, apparently the new Red Dead Redemption that's coming out next month, the computer game, they've actually accurately modelled the testicles of the horses so they actually shrink in cold weather.
Yeah, I've read that. It's
yes.
Like, what's the point, though?
I remember they had the hoo-ha of when the video footage was first released, like last year, and they were like, everybody's going, horse balls! And now they're saying, yeah, they do get smaller in cold weather. What? You know, just because the game isn't using enough of your processor.
No, that's right.
You're going to have realistic ball physics.
Well, they've probably had someone hired to do it. It's like, yeah, what have you been doing this week, John? Well...
Hang on, I'm going to put my hairdryer off again.
I've been animating horse balls.
Yeah.
If somebody actually complained for that to happen, you know, somebody was playing the game and saying, I happen to notice as a keen horse rider.
That's a gimmick just to show that, yes, our technology can do stupid, crazy shit like this.
No, I reckon someone complained. I reckon it was a case of, you know, look, you're making all this realistic gunfighting, but what are you doing about the horse?
No, at that point, it's basically a piece of promotion material for their physics.
Horse balls.
Yeah, but it's basically just an advertisement for their physics engine. Like, this is what it's capable of. We can go that crazy.
It certainly grabs your attention, doesn't it?
That's the idea behind it.
Grabs you by the horse balls.
Well, 2017 was the year of the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
2018, the year of realistic horse physics. I was listening to, talking of which, I was listening to the Infinite Monkey Cage of the week. I found it's a very good podcast. I found listening to a lot of podcasts when I'm playing Elite Dangerous lately. And at one point they had some guests. They always have like a comedian on, as well as some scientists and stuff. And they're all like, I'm Professor John Smith from the University of Watford, and I did this degree in this, and I'm Dr. Such and Such, and I've got a degree in this, and I'm a study of blah, blah, blah. And the last guy's like, I'm Bob Johnson. I can't remember his name. He said, I'm Bob Johnson. I've got a degree in horse physics from the university. Because he hasn't got any degree. That died a death, didn't it? Funnier in my head. Funnier in my head.
I think it took too long to get there.
Yeah, you're probably right. I've not had any tea yet, so I'm probably hungry or something.
You're hungry.
Hungry? I'm never hungry. If anything, I'm a bit grumpy when I'm hungry, but I don't want to say I'm humpy because that doesn't sound right at all.
That's a completely different conversation.
Totally different conversation. Oh, God, I'm going to move this camera. It's doing my bean in. There we go. Camera has removed.
Oh, 21's them bits that I tried to put off before, but they weren't the right bits.
Never try and cut off the wrong bits.
Well, I couldn't really see. The line looked like it
you end
was
up with horse
going to
balls.
go past them.
Eh?
I thought the line was going to them earlier from a different number, but it went to it and then it went through it and to the next one.
Yeah, you got to be careful. That's how you end up with horse balls.
Yeah, nobody wants to end up with horse balls.
Yeah, pretty much.
It must be that, which is labeled 22.
I
do like the fact you can just.
I feel we should all be grateful that Smoo isn't a part of this conversation.
Oh, Smoo has Smoo had to leave.
Yeah.
Smoo and Colin left earlier. You said goodbye to him.
Did I? You're supposed to remember. I don't know. Just to remember stuff. Just because I say something doesn't mean I actually pay attention to whatever I've just said. Because
we should know this really by now.
Yeah, just because I said it doesn't mean it was any importance or that it actually was anything we can remember. Right, it's hairdryer time again. Yeah, microphone off.
Right, Jamie Bone, I've got your email. Thank you. I shall. I actually had it an hour ago. I just didn't check. I'll get you sorted for some stickerage. Right, I've got to put these things on the back of here because this apparently is his back. I don't know why he's got a volume controller on his back. I'm not sure. I don't know what shape that's got to be. It's very strange. Lots of folds and it goes that way, right? In that way. Oh, then that goes over there and that goes that way. Oh, I got you. I know what it is now. It's easy. I don't know what it is, but I know what shape it needs to be to get to it. That's the important thing.
Important news, which you probably already read. Ted says he picked some slows yesterday. Guess where they're going? Chris is thinking, what's a slow?
I am thinking that.
He said, you make slow gin. Slow is a berry. You make gin out of it.
Okay.
What is Ted best known for?
Slapping it on.
Yeah, and?
Falling asleep.
And?
Drinking gin.
This may take a while. Forget food, get beer, says Rob Barlow. I have 7 bottles of Guinness foreign export downstairs. And I've been sorely tempted to drink one for the last 3 or 4 days with my tea. But every time I get to having my tea, it's like, oh wait, I need to go and do some painting and stuff later on, so I can't really be drinking the fizzy pop.
You can have a night off from painting. It's fine.
Well, it'd be a bit rubbish if I just sat here on the stream and just drank beer.
These
guys are making models. I'm going to drink beer.
Totally different type of stream.
Yeah, ew. Gotta tell you, I do love the fact you can just be abusive with Citadel paints and it goes on really smooth. Yeah.
I have to admit, Fox, I got really annoyed when I opened the box and saw the instruction manual.
For what?
Well, I basically looked at this side and it's like suggested paint scheme. It's like, oh yeah, okay, 8 paints, and then get and get lead belcher, and then you open the box, get the booklet. It's like, and that's 12 more paints I should be getting.
Yeah, you're gonna need lead belcher. You're gonna need.
I have lead belcher.
Retributor armor, Reichel flesh shade, Teclis blue.
So it tells you on the outside of the box, this is what you'll need.
It gives you some colours, but not necessarily all the colours.
No, it only gives you about half of it to get like the main color scheme blocked in. But
this is why you need the. What model is it?
Lord Aquilor, Stormcast Eternals.
Hang on. Sorry, which one again? Lord who? What?
Lord Aquilor. I'll hold up on camera just a second.
Lord Aquilor. Lord Aquilor.
You're going to say the app tells you exactly what you need.
I've got everything to get the main color of the horse set in and the main color.
No, it doesn't actually have Lord Aquilor on the app. It has lots of characters. It has the Lord of Afflictions, the Lord of Contagion, the Lord Ordinator, the Lord Exorcist, Lord Arcanum of Toralon, Lord Arcanum Griff Charger, which is similar.
Yeah, it is a Griff Charger. Yeah,
it's got the Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger, and it has many colours.
Yeah, that's why I just got it.
Yeah. Manfred von Karstein.
What do you reckon is easiest to order them? Because I have a local shop, but they're asking €4 a bottle, and that seems a bit steep.
Is that the local Games Workshop shop?
No.
€4 a bottle.
Yeah.
How much is it at your local Games Workshop store?
I wouldn't know. That's the opposite way from, because I went there after my work. Because that shop is in Bruges, which is only a 15-minute drive.
Well, if you avail yourself of, I shall do it now. Games Workshop.
There is one in Ghent, which is about half an hour drive from where I live.
Which country are you in? Space or Germany or I don't know, France or somewhere?
What, Belgium?
Belgium. Le Belgique. Belgique.
How have you forgotten that?
I don't know, because everybody always takes a mick at you being German, so I forget. I think it was like Netherlands or something. Right, so let's have a look. Lead Belcher.
This coming from the man who's received Christmas gifts from me.
I know.
My address.
If I go onto the Warhammer website and look up as if I am living in the Belgique, it is €3.30.
Which is about €1 cheaper than
less than €4.
Yeah.
So 70 cents less. So it might be cheaper if you had to go to your local store, your local Warhammer
store.
Yeah,
it was $4.50 for most of the paints.
Yeah.
And a bit more for the technical ones like Null, and there's one other I got.
What, in the Warhammer store or in the not Warhammer store?
In the not Warhammer store.
It's not often you go to a store that isn't Warhammer and pay more. It's not often that you can say the Warhammer store is the cheaper option. Somebody's gone. Shane Youngs have to bow out now, chaps. Thanks for the company and all take care.
No problem. Thanks, Shane. Bye.
Catch you later, Shane. Bye now.
Paul says you need to buy Kislev flesh.
Kislev flesh. Yes, it's not often you can say the Games Workshop store is the cheaper option, but hey, sometimes it is.
Apparently, Rob Barlow was displeased with Solo.
I thought it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
No problem with it. It was
I actually quite enjoyed it, I have to say.
If you ignore it's Star Wars and just assume it's a heist movie.
Apparently, Solo has made them decide that they're not going to do the interim movies anymore.
Yeah, but you don't listen to what they say.
Well, I think they said that they're going to hold off on doing them every year.
Yeah, one
movie a year is a bit too much.
Yeah, they want to focus on the main episodes every 2 years from now, and then
I had no problem with it. I just didn't think the woman from Game of Thrones worked as whatever her name was, and I can't remember anybody. The only thing I remember from the whole film is, and it's the only bit that stands out and makes me go, oh yeah, is at one point when he's in that place with the people.
Yeah, I know that bit.
And you see for the first time, you see somebody who is a decraniated. And you look and you go, oh, wait, I've got to freeze frame that. What the hell? Oh, that's not right.
Yeah.
Because I'd never seen, I'd heard of them before, but you'd never seen them. A decraniated, where somebody's had basically the top half of the head removed. So they've only got a head from halfway up the nose down. And the top is just like a little flat computer.
Yeah, but it's only in the background, isn't it? It's not.
It's like the camera goes past her.
It doesn't make a big thing of it.
And it's just like, it's one of those sights that's so jarring. Because you see basically someone with most of their head missing and just a little, what looks like a Roomba stuck on the top of the head that isn't there. Your brain just goes, whoa, 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 go back.
Yeah, I didn't actually notice that when I was watching it in the cinema.
No, but then the thing I love is that if you go and check out the lore and look up the decraniated, I think they're called decraniated, that apparently it all ties into A New Hope where, you know, they seem compelled to make everything tie in. You know where they're in the cantina?
Yeah.
And those two guys are there, and he says, this is my friend. He's wanted in 4 systems. Yeah. The guy with the really kind of cut up face. Apparently, he's a surgeon. He's a banished cybernetic doctor and surgeon.
Doctor something. I can't remember his character name, but yeah.
Yeah, and he invented, amongst other things, the decraniated.
Oh, right.
They were banned and they were made, but then you see one in that place.
Because they were in Rogue One.
What, the decraniated? Oh, those two.
That doctor bloke.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, it was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me just go back a couple of frames. I just sat there for about 5 minutes looking at it, and my brain was just going to process what that would actually, if you saw that in real life, what would that actually mean? Because they were just slaves that they just chopped off their head off. And it's like, hang on, how would that actually work then? Oh.
So is it empty?
Eh?
Is it empty or is it full of something?
No, literally. Imagine you draw a line across your face.
Yeah.
From the top of your cheeks and across your nose. So it's underneath your eyes, but across the top of your cheeks.
Yep.
Cut off everything above that line.
Right.
So you've got no eyes, no cranium, no brain, no top of the brain.
So what do they do at the bottom of the brain thing? Do they scoop
So
it
it's basically just the brainstem left.
Yeah, just the brainstem. Everything else is removed and thrown away. And then take a Roomba that's about 2 inches high and plonk that on the top. That's just look it up in Wikipedia. And I really hate the fact that Wikipedia is a real thing, but yeah. I really hate this having to say that. But yeah, go and look at it. It's just like it makes your brain do a couple of somersaults. It's like it's like I didn't want to see that, and now I'm not going to be able to get it out of my mind, and my mind's going to do thinking things all around that idea now for hours. It's brilliant. It's just like a very quick look, and it's like, wow, that's just makes your brain do gymnastics.
How are you getting on, Spid? You finished that yet?
We are. The two halves are now coming together. Of the I can't see me. Hang on, where am I on? Is me? There we go.
Can you point to it?
We now have the stand, which forms the lower gun poddy bit.
Yep.
And we've got the infill bits just gone on, and the two halves have now joined together. So we have a very Falconish looking Falcon, and that just leaves the little side pods to go on, and that's looking really cool. I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah, nearly there.
Ted says, why do I get remembered for drinking gin and being out of focus? Play to your strengths, Ted. Play to your strengths. We didn't even start the gin thing. He started that himself. Now you see why I was going to airbrush this and not actually brush paint it, because it takes ages. The one downside of brush painting vehicles is it just takes forever. Let's see. Team Inept Paul says you'll need Kislev flesh for the nutsack, Vincent. I need to get drunk to forget after watching Solo, says Rob Barlow, which is where all that came from. Team Inept says 12 System at Dr. Everzan. He says, FFS, I'm correcting all the Star Wars errors tonight. Well, somebody's got to. He's wanted in 12 systems. Hand shot first. A weird sex doll, says
You'll
Rob
be
Barlow.
dead.
What? You'll be dead.
Okay. There he is. That's that bit.
Here is that bit.
That bit's done.
Which bit are you working on today? Well, that bit, really.
Oh, you shrine hunt.
Only that bit.
Tomorrow I shall work on the other bit. What?
Oh, come on. Come on. Get in that tab of war. Very good.
Everybody in chat, what's everybody in chat working on? If you're not working on whatever you're working on when you were on my show earlier on, what you're working on at this time of night? Beer is
I'm doing Metal Earth because that makes me feel happy that everyone
beer is an
doing the same thing.
Me dinner is also a good answer.
Oh,
Somebody else's dinner is an even better answer.
Well, unless you're cooking it, then it's not such a good answer.
Do you know what I love about food is eating it? You know what I hate about food? Having to make the damn stuff.
You know, you can give people money and they make it for you.
Yeah, but you have to give them money.
And sometimes they even bring it to your door.
Ooh, I do like the idea of like I press some numbers on a phone and say some words, and within half an hour, a little man appears and brings me happiness, warm happiness,
and sometimes some food.
Yeah, as well. Yeah,
that could sound so very, very wrong.
With my local kebab shop, it's always a happy ending. I went there, didn't I? I totally went there.
Is that with or without garlic sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to know about that.
I totally went there.
30, 31, and 32.
How many more bits have you got then, Spid?
I have got 6 components, and it takes 3 components per side for the 2 little sidey pods, and it's then complete.
Cool.
And that looks super duper nifty. I'm really pleased with it. It's cool.
Is this the first one of them you've done then?
Yeah. I bought this ages and ages ago. The idea being, it was going to be something I was going to like tinker with and put together while I was sat watching a movie or something. And it's just sort of sat there because I've never thought to take it out of my hobby room.
This is where my brain stops working.
I see it every now and again. And then when you sort of did the Metal Earth thing, I thought, oh, I've got that kit, so that's cool. I can sort of jump in and join in with it.
Had you already started building it? Because I'm sure somebody built one of these or half built one of these already.
I started building it when Chris was doing the Iron Man.
Oh, that's right. Because I knew somebody had started, but at least started. Because I'm sure somebody's done one of these already. I can't remember where I saw it. I was having that thing.
Chris has built one as well before, though, haven't you? Have you?
Not on camera.
I can't remember if it was just my brain being weird and remembering all the wrong things as usual.
Not this time.
Ah. Just this once.
Yeah, they're not ideal for building while you're doing other things. You do need to sort of focus on it and get your...
What, like driving?
Definitely not driving.
Well, building it's made me realise it would not have been ideal for sitting and tinkering with and building while you're watching a movie.
Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah,
I do realise
that's
operating heavy machinery.
Get a buttload of fuel tracks.
Buttload. Is that a metric buttload or imperial buttload?
They're actually exactly the same.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Unless you're an American, in which case it's about 2 3/4 of a buttload is imperial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, their buttloads are obviously a lot bigger.
Because their buttloads are based on cups or something.
if you're American, there's about 10 Fahrenheit difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Raging Bases, right, I'm out of here, dudes. Have fun.
We will. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for watching.
I asked everybody what they were doing, and Rob Barlow said a weird sex doll. Paul Di Tommaso is doing his real great Hazabi. The feet are now assembled. Jamie Bowen is working on his Tamiya 148 Thunderbolt. Big thing, that is. Redland 08 is on coffee and cupcakes. And Rob Barlow is drunk. That's why the weird sex doll is weird, because it's not a sex doll. Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Because you're drunk. Beer goggles.
I thought I'd be able to see that bit because it's a pretty unique shape, but I can't see it.
Is that what? That's the Games Workshop method of building. You have to look on the sprue for the thing rather than the actual number, because good luck trying finding the number. Or
well, you don't put numbers on these sprues, so
yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to look at the thing. 25.
Mine had numbers on, but some of them are numbered incorrectly. I found about 3 parts that are incorrectly numbered.
Yeah. What number is it?
And I spent 10 minutes looking for one part I could not see anywhere, and they put it in the middle of one of the big disc sections.
Yeah, they do that a lot. That's fun.
One piece inside another piece. You're like, oh.
Yeah. And then as soon as I spotted it, it was like, oh God, I've looked at that so many times. And
middle class suburban nonsense.
Well, that's like this one. There you go. This is part 25 that I need, is this bit here. But conveniently, inside it are parts 63 and 66.
Because of course.
Right, okay.
Does that mean you have to then have them sitting around on the desk because you've had to take them out of that bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It really is approaching Games Workshop level of sprue organisation there.
It must be bloody difficult to organise and design these things, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, apart from having to make the thing out of bits that will fit together again, you've actually then got to put the bits onto as fewer bits of metal as you can.
Yeah, well, you know the secret, though, don't you?
Get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, you should employ someone to do that for you. Skipper Ted, I'm here watching you. Ew, is that a threat or an observation or what?
It's a little bit scary, isn't it?
Is that like, I know what you did last summer? Paul Di Tommaso, I've come across a few errors on the instructions for Warhammer kits. Wrong number for parts. It's probably you find actually the instructions are perfectly fine. It's just the parts are just badly numbered. Just being Games Workshop, it's the other way around. Shouldn't replace my water.
So it's coming up 2 hours now. So I think pretty much when Spid's finished his Falcon, we're going to call it a night. Seems like a good place to finish it as anything else, because I'm not going to get much more of this one done.
I've got a problem actually. I've just realised.
We realised a long time ago, but we weren't going to mention it.
One more to assemble. That's
I don't know what colour to do my tyres.
What colour?
Well, because this Skaven Blight Dinge with a load of null oil over the top will be a perfect tyre colour. Unfortunately, the vehicle is Skaven Blight Dinge and we'll have a load of null oil over the top of it. So,
I begin to see your problem.
Yeah.
I'll go with rubber black then.
You can't brush rubber black. It's Tamiya. It's made of nonsense. There isn't a darker.
It's just a night. I mean, NATO Black's a fantastic tyre colour, but for brushing, Tamiya.
There isn't a darker grey, and I don't want to mix a custom grey because I'll never get the same colour again. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah. Although, having said that, I will... Oh, I don't know, actually. I can always... I can always add more null oil to the tyres than I do to the armour, and that'll make it a different colour. And then I'll cover it all in mud and dust anyway, so I'll just paint them a grey colour and we'll... There we go. Exactly the same colour.
Covered in mud.
I don't like painting dark things just black because you can't go anywhere from black. I'd rather use null oil to darken down a dark grey. Null oil, you say? What grade do I want to do it? Metal. I painted the bull bars metal. I should have just painted them silver. Go over that again with lead belcher. Idiot. What colour are bull bars? Are they silver or painted the same as the vehicle? On an army vehicle?
Yeah.
Either or. I've seen them black. I've seen them chromed. I've seen them painted the same as the vehicle. Usually, if they're military, the whole thing's just painted.
So what you're saying is then, is the Warhammer vehicle so gold?
Probably. As shiny and obvious as possible.
Gold. I find I find rubber black is one of the few Tamiyas that brushes nicely, says Team Inept. Don't want to risk it for a biscuit.
I think he must be a wizard if he can brush any Tamiya nicely.
Rob Barlow says, I'm watching Ted watching everyone. It's getting weird now in there. It's getting weird now in your chat. My chat's always well behaved and yours is just getting weird.
No, yours is normally worse, but I'm normally there to keep an eye on it.
Ah. Yeah, but you're here to keep it up.
Voyeuristic stuff's going on.
Also, I can't get to my Tamiya Rubber Black because it's a... What's that? It's away in a drawer and covered in a million things. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same Skaven Blight Dinge. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to do...
Alrighty.
I'm going to do Mechanica Standard Grey, which is a less brown grey. And then I'll put more normal on the tyres, which will differentiate it. I used a big word and everything there. That's quite cool. What I'm basically going to do is put a paint on the wheels, on the tyres, that takes it back to the same colour it was when it was just primer. Brilliant. Well done. I do appreciate the irony of taking a model, priming it grey, and then painting it grey. You should sit in on Terry and Colin if you want weird, says Mickle Pickle. I'm glad he added the word in to that sentence. There's nowhere to put any of these things. All the things are in the wrong place.
I've got this last bit to put on the bottom of his body.
Would that be his bottom?
No, more a sort of waist.
So is it a bottom waist? Or is it a waist bottom?
So we have finished, and congratulations.
Ooh, have you finished?
Oh no, I pulled one of his ears off.
It's
We
almost like
have
you've not made
finished
all
aluminum falcon.
Oh, that looks mint, dude.
And it's a nice little display stand. I really like that. That's I like it.
Cool.
I've
Now
got
you
to
can
say,
paint it now.
I really enjoyed that. Fiddly, but
Now you just need to mix
thoroughly enjoyable.
Which one are you going to build next?
I don't know. I'm going to have a look and see. That's jolly good.
That's mint, that. Oh, wow. This is exactly the same colour as... That's weird.
Right, I'll put his ear back on, so I'm happy now.
Did you break it?
No, I didn't. His ear didn't fall off at all, live on camera at all. Nothing, no.
Don't look behind the curtain.
Right, I've done that. Speed's finished, so that's as good a time as any to call it a night, I think.
You do really short streams, don't you?
Well, it's 2 hours. That's not bad.
3 hours, or is it?
No, it's not. It's 2. It's 2/3 of 3.
I do maths. I can do maths.
Yeah.
You went live at what, 8 o'clock? So it's 2 hours, isn't it? Nearly.
Yeah. There you go. 2 hours.
I've got loads of painting left to do. You can't stop now.
You can carry on, but
Because as soon as you stop, I'll just go and get something to eat, and then I'll start watching crap on the telly, and then I'll be asleep and drinking beer.
Well, in that case, I'll just go off air, but won't tell you, and you can stay there, and we'll just say we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, and if anybody in can chat, can just pretend to be there while I'm...
Just send you occasional text messages saying, "Oh, that was nice."
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, why do you talk to me on the telly rather than through the telephone?
My voice is going. I've got a bad cold.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So I've done half of Bumblebee. There he is.
Hello, you've got to finish him. Why don't you just finish him?
That's him there. He's got no arms or no legs, but he's got a body and a head and both ears. So that's all good. And I've got 2 extra bits that I had to take off already, so I'm going to put them aside safely, or I'm not going to find them next time. And I'm not going to remember what bits they are either, so that's always fun. So I'm going to put them in a packet. So remind me.
If you on and finished him tonight, then you wouldn't have to worry about all that.
Remind me next time that those 2 bits are in there with all the metal bits.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like that.
So thanks for watching, and thanks you lot for jumping in and joining in. And
Pleasure.
being here and keeping an eye on
It
the
was
chat.
jolly good fun. Thank you for the invitations.
Indeed, I shall continue with him next time. It will be, you know, a few weeks or whatever. There's no set time for any of these. It's just whenever things are, you know, when there's time and nothing else going on. So probably a couple of weeks, I would have thought. Sunday night seems to be a good time. There's nothing, you know, Fox isn't doing his Warhamsters.
Hey,
So,
wait, you're not going to do any sticker questions or anything? Oh, no, you're just going to...
no, but you want a sticker, give me an email, you know, that sort of thing. There's only like 2 people left here now.
Oh, okay. No.
And most of them have already had stickers. So, yeah, if you do want a sticker, then by all means, just send me an email at, like you said earlier, I'll type it in myself. DELS at mail.
Mail. Chris at mail dot thing.
It didn't work. I was in the wrong typing thing.
Did that make you type all wrong then when I did that?
No, I hadn't highlighted the chat thing, so I was typing somewhere else. I was typing to Windows.
Helgen35 at geocities.com.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so Fox at modernmakingguru.com.
No, wait, what?
And if anybody wants a sticker from me, just mail Chris at Gross Models for a Gross Models one, because I don't have any.
Ted at emodels.co.uk.
I wonder how many people actually send a mail to ted at emodels.co.emodels.co.
Yes, it should be grossmodels at gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Yeah, that won't work.
JustATrader.com.
Yes, so thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, and thanks for the invite, Chris. Was good fun.
Who? What? I haven't clicked the button yet. Yeah. I was ready, but then I stopped. I'll click it now, shall I?
He's running interference, is he?
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Night.